I'd like to call the Sugarland 4B Corporation meeting to order on Wednesday, November 30th at 4 p.m. Citizens who desire to address the City Council, Board, and Commission with regard to matters on the agenda will be read and or received at this time. Is there anyone? All right. Let's go to the next item on the agenda. Find it. So, recognition, Sharon Saunders and Aftab Ghassani for their years of service on the Sugarland 4B Corporation. John Soriano presenting.
Howdy, everyone. On behalf of the team, I would like to take a moment to recognize former board members, sorry, not director anymore, Sharon Saunders and Aftab Ghassani for their years of service to the corporation. Unfortunately, Ms. Saunders had to duck out last minute to a last-minute emergency, but they both completed their terms to the SL4B. Both of them completed 6 years of service to the SL4B. Since 2016, they served on this board. And so I know we have some new board members today. And so we as a team wanted to just recognize both of them for their time, dedication, and service to this board and to the community. Ms. Saunders sends her regards as well to everyone here. And I wanted to invite Mr. Ghassani for a few words. So
I've thoroughly enjoyed working on this board. I feel that it's been an honor and a privilege.
Turn the mic on.
On this board.
You guys turn your mics on, make sure it's green.
Should I read something? Good. So it's been an honor and a privilege to serve on this board, and I really appreciate the opportunity given to me by the city of Sugarland. And I've learned a great deal from my colleagues, and I was really impressed by the work the staff does. I think they made our task a lot easier, and so I appreciate their support every meeting. So thank you, and then definitely miss being here.
thank you. And time flies when you served as an SL4B board member. So both of our former board members received an engraved Sugarland 4B Corporation clock as a
Thank you for that.
to recognize their service. 6 years is amazing. So
Appreciate that.
that's all I've got. Thank you.
Thanks again. Yeah.
You can say it.
Yeah.
It's a public meeting.
Next item on the agenda, consideration of an action on the minutes of the September 6th, 2022 meeting. Second. We have a motion to approve by Director Kamali and a second by Director McCutcheon. Director Atkinson.
Aye.
Director Besenson.
Aye.
Director Kirkland.
Aye.
Director Kamali and I. The motion carries unanimously. All right, the next item, review of and discussion on purpose, roles, responsibilities, and functions of the Sugarland 4B Corporation. John.
Howdy, everyone. Welcome to your fiscal year 23 SL4B orientation. We have some new board members on the board, so this will be especially helpful for them. For some of you, this might be some review, but it is a little bit shorter than last year. So in respect for the item that we have today. First, I wanted to start with why are you here? You are on one of my favorite boards in Sugarland. The projects that come through this board significantly enhance the quality of life in our community and enhance economic development. So I hope for all the new board members and the continuing board members that you're excited for another year. I'll go over these topics today, an overview of the SL4B, the importance of economic development and the role of this board and the SL4B, some examples of some SL4B projects, a little bit of information on the budget and bylaws in the annual report. So first, let's start off with the purpose of the SL4B. The purpose of the Sugarland 4B Corporation, SL4B, is to promote the retention, expansion, and development of Sugarland's targeted primary industries that create or retain primary jobs within the city and enhance quality of life opportunities here in the city of Sugarland. You can see here the economic development cycle. Right on the top, our primary jobs and the destination venues that bring in tourism to our city. The jobs that are brought through the city through primary jobs and destination venues and tourism bring in demanding for housing and hotel rooms, and they also bring demand for secondary retail and supporting services like retail and restaurants and housing, and a lot of that money that comes through the demand that's brought through these primary jobs and tourism gets reinvested back into the community and it gets captured through property tax and sales tax. And so it's a big cycle, and thanks to the SL4B, the 4B Corporation has helped to generate millions of dollars of this type of economic activity through the types of projects that have come through the 4B. I want you to think, whenever you see the Sugarland Business Park, whenever you see this type of investment that's happening in the business park or through our tourism, I want you to know that all the dollars that come through that tourism or through that capital investment gets reinvested back into the quality of life in the community. And so let me go back. I think I missed some things here. Originally, the Sugarland 4B Corporation was founded in 1995 under Section 4B. Of the Development Corporation Act of 1979. The board here consists of 7 members, and these members can serve a maximum of 3 consecutive 2-year terms. The SL4B is funded through a quarter-cent sales tax to fund the corporation and its economic development restricted projects. And since as of October 2022, since the 4B was founded in 1995, it has generated more than 124 million in sales tax revenue since its inception. So long history right there. Let's talk more about the eligible projects that can create and retain primary jobs. The sales tax collected through the SL4B can be used for certain types of projects as delegated in the local government code. Some of those projects are here. So projects that create or retain primary jobs. You can see the list: manufacturing, industrial facilities, research facilities, et cetera. A lot of these are under the Type A corporation, and here in Sugarland, we typically use the Type A corporation to kind of fund these types of projects. Well, one thing that's really great about the Type B corporation is that under the local government code and the way we can use Type B funds, it's expanded a bit. 4B corporation, the Type B corporations in Texas can pay for land, buildings, equipment, facilities, targeted infrastructure improvements for what the comptroller calls a lot of quality of life type of projects. And so you can see a list of these things here, and all the pictures that you kind of will see in this presentation are things that the 4B has participated in throughout its inception. So professional and amateur sports facilities, store, restaurant, parking and transportation facilities, street improvements, affordable housing. There's a whole list of things that are allowed to be funded through the 4B corporation. And so some of these pictures of that are though, and kind of one more important thing, there's a whole list of eligible expenditures that our board can use to spend on projects. Another kind of important thing is promotional expenditures. typically that's known to be marketing, and so are also allowed as a eligible expenditure. I will say that marketing is extremely important to the SL4B and the Sugar Land Office of Economic Development. Other EDCs out there all have marketing or pay for marketing in some way. As we're all competing for these jobs and businesses to come to our cities. So getting your town on the map is extremely important, which is why we spend so much money or spend so many EDCs spend resources on marketing. And in the past, we've gotten a lot of media coverage and coverage through our marketing efforts as well. So I wanted to mention that. Some examples of SL4B projects that this board and this organization has supported our Sugar Land Town Square, Constellation Field, the Lifestyle Center revitalization at First Colony Mall, public art installations, joint capital improvement projects with HOAs, and more. The breadth and scope of the projects that you'll see come through this board throughout the year are very wide, but all of them will enhance economic development or the quality of life in our community in some way. So I hope you're excited to serve on the board. For those new board members who are, this is your first term, we'll send you a little packet after this meeting with more on our bylaws, the local government code that applies to us, as well as a quick summary of the eligible projects this board can fund. And so with that, do you have any questions? Perfect, thank you.
All right, thank you, John. All right, consideration of an action on election of president and vice president for terms ending September 30th, 2023. Elizabeth Huff, Director of Economic Development.
Good afternoon. Okay, so it's that time of year where the board chooses who our next president and vice president are going to be. Our currently serving president is Miss Amy Sewell, and then Billy is our current vice president. As through our provisions of the corporation bylaws, the president will preside at all board meetings and perform any other duties required by the bylaws or the board. The president may appoint directors and other persons to serve on standing or ad hoc committees or make recommendations to the board. And then the vice president performs the duties of the president if the president is absent or is unable or refuses to act, and any other duties as assigned by the board. We do have a secretary that the city secretary's office does fill that role for us, and then the treasurer, the city manager will designate a city employee to serve as a corporation's treasurer, and that treasurer will perform the duties specified in these bylaws. So with that, I'll take any questions or open the floor for y'all to make nominations.
I nominate that Amy continue as president.
I'm fine with it. So
I agree.
is there a second?
Second.
And I think we still do have to vote. So, yeah, so Director Bissett.
Aye.
Director McCutcheon.
Aye.
Director Atkinson.
Aye.
Director Kirko. Director Kamali. Director. You said aye, yes. All right, so the motion carries. I'll be president. Again, now.
Billy Joe.
I'd like to make a suggestion that one of our new members serve as vice president to prepare one or both of them for the presidency.
I nominate Kurt Kirchhoff then for vice president.
I
I
second.
see. Great. All right.
Aye.
All in favor. Okay, great. The motion carries, and Kurt is now our vice president. Welcome.
My eye on you.
All right, thank you. Thanks, Elizabeth. All right, the next, whoa, go back. Yes, so the next item is approving a request by the city of Sugar Land for landscape replacement and enhancement projects along US Highway 59, 69, US Highway 90A, State Highway 6, Eldridge Road, and other major corridors in the city of Sugar Land. Kirk Meyer.
Good afternoon. How are y'all doing?
Great,
how are you?
gig 'em.
So we're here asking for a funding resolution for these projects as required by bylaws and state statute. With the request and the funding, if it is approved, we're requesting some improvements identified in the right of way. Would be some additions to the TxDOT Green Ribbon project on Highway 6. Other projects would be Highway 59 and 90 for some improvements, Highway 59 and Highway 6. And then various other landscape replacements and projects. So the first one would be additions to TxDOT's Green River project on Highway 6. We have plans submitted to TxDOT, but we're going to be redoing the flower bed with TxDOT, I should say, is paying for the redoing of the flower beds similar to what they did on Highway 59. And so what we'd like to do is add stamped concrete where the medians are less than 60 inches. The reason we have identified 60 inches is our lawnmowers are 60 inches that we use to maintain. This will help reduce the amount of weeds and stuff that we have growing in there, add more aesthetics to it, and improve maintenance. Another area that we're looking at is Highway 59 and 90. Similar, the picture on the left is what we did at Highway 59 and the Brazos River turnaround on the south side last year. We're looking at doing something similar to Highway 59 and 90 intersection. It is a much larger intersection, but the decomposed granite that we have down there is washing out in some areas. And so we're looking to minimize the runoff and then just improve the area down there. Another area that we've located is Highway 59 and Highway 6. The design was previously approved years ago, or I believe last year, before my tenure, to make some enhancements to this intersection. Unfortunately, the expense has far exceeded what we were expecting with the funding resolution of $200,000 a year. So, but to the right is a picture of some of the enhancements that we're looking at making with the stamped concrete and the entire triangle section, with the Texas Star and dedicated walk paths through there. And so, yes, sir.
Can you orient me, where is that? Is that by the Verizon and?
We have, this is actually in front of St. Michael's. It has one of these triangles. This actual picture right here is from St. Michael.
Okay, is that the one where you're working?
We're looking at all
Oh.
of them. This far exceeds the 200,000, so we use it to supplement, is one area. So all these projects are definitely costly, but these are some of the areas that we're looking at enhancing. So this has been designed. There's some other issues that we're clarifying with the state as far as right away, because that is a very major intersection with the state.
When you say this exceeds the 200,000 budget that you have, what are you thinking in regard to funding to?
With other funds, this is looking to be, this came back more, like I said, costlier and more costly than what we're anticipating. It's around 400,000 to 600,000 is what we're anticipating.
For 4 triangles or 2?
For the whole intersection, because of the concrete, the right of way, the infrastructure that's in there. It's not concrete. We have seen a drastic increase in concrete amongst some vendors. Other vendors, we've seen a decrease, but I think it's in.
Is there a savings offset for maintenance? I mean, I'm assuming you don't have to go mow and do all that, or
We wouldn't have to go mow and do that. Honestly, of the hundreds of acres that we maintain every week, this is a mere drop in the bucket. It's more from an aesthetics standpoint.
Please make sure you use your mics when you ask questions.
Yeah, turn them, make sure they're on.
His mic is.
Any other questions?
You mentioned the landscaping that TxDOT did back in the summer, which. Yeah, that was outside. Yes, and so it died because it was planned was 100 degrees, and some of that along 59 that TxDOT planted this summer is dead. There was like a warranty on there. So y'all going to be following
Yeah,
that?
we've already followed up with TxDOT on that warranty, because it's TxDOT's project. The contractor that part of the Green River project is a 1-year warranty period that began on July 1st. So that ran us through the extensive hot part of summer, because they were done installing on July 1st. We've been working with them on primarily irrigation leaks. That's why we saw even during the middle of the drought, we had some water standing in some areas because there was a lot of leaks that was caused by that. And so we're communicating that and documenting that with TxDOT, because we don't have, since that is not our contract, we don't have the governors to be able to withhold funds. We're providing TxDOT with that information in case they decide to withhold funds, which they have. They have communicated that intent to that contractor And every time we communicate an issue, they've been very receptive and responsive to that. So we have been in constant contact with TxDOT on that issue.
Okay, good, thank you. And so this project, you're gonna look at, because of the funding restrictions, to do just like one or two of the intersections right now, and then do the rest in a future year then?
Yes, ma'am, depending on the other funding sources that we have, because that's still in a design phase, but like I said, the preliminary costs that came back did far exceed the 200. So between these three different areas, we have identified those to spend that money. But we're still waiting on some of the design back on the highway system.
That's a work in progress, basically.
I have a question. So stained concrete, so these are not pavers.
These are not papers, no ma'am.
Okay, I just want to make sure
Yes,
we
sir.
don't have grass growing in between anything. Because I see that along other roads that TxDOT has done with pavers, and it doesn't end well.
It does not end well. It also, we have other issues with that, but yes, ma'am. This is stamped concrete.
So is this a safety issue going out? Obviously, it looks like it'd be a safety issue to go out there and mow this grass.
They're still
At
mowing the grass.
Busiest intersection in Sugar Land, 6 and 59. But at 400,000, correct?
Preliminary costs are back between.
Preliminary $400,000.
600,000.
But we're not approving the funding at this point.
Correct. Well, you're approving the funding, the project that we've identified that can go towards that. Because SL4B did approve the funding for the design.
Yeah.
The preliminary numbers that have come back, so if you look at mine, as far as the funding, we could.
Yes, so the item before you on today's agenda is a funding resolution to contribute funds towards this project.
Okay. But not the full.
Not the full, 200,000.
Yeah, that's what I mean, as long as it's two.
So these are three projects that we've identified to spend the 200,000 on.
Right.
Thank you.
So just again, yeah, it's a good clarity. So in that 200,000, what we're funding on that 4-point intersection on 6 and 59 is really the planning phase or the
plan, the drawings that you see right here was funded by SL4B in the past.
Right.
To get to this point. The construction of that, to make that come to reality, like I said, is 400,000 to 600,000. So if we could spend all 200 on that and then supplement that elsewhere, or do 2 this year, 2 next year, depending on the funding, if that is the direction. But so we gave what the cost of this, we've identified other areas to make improvements. And we're not putting more eggs in one basket.
How much for the star? Like how much more is that? And what is that along the side there? Is that a sidewalk or?
Yes, ma'am,
What
that
is that?
sidewalk similar to the sidewalk right here. It's in the grass, near grass on either side of that side.
So who would walk the sidewalk that way?
There are quite a bit, and I know there is looking at mobility in the city. That's one of the hot topics of mobility and moving more than just motor vehicle traffic is connecting the heart of Sugar Land with Lake Point to Highway Center to Town Center. There's different options, but there is. How many people do I personally see traversing that area?
And I guess it would be turned. I get it. Okay.
This is
So-
due north. This is due south.
Okay, got it.
I guess our question is, if there's 200 grand to be spent, is this last on the construction side of that 200 grand? Are you going to spend any money under construction on these 4 areas?
Not really.
Okay.
So I think to be crystal clear, we have $200,000. They have 3 possible projects. They are going to continue to evaluate. They're bringing to you the opportunities. And then they're gonna, throughout the year, as they get further along in the design or get further estimates, they will eventually make a decision on which one to pursue. And then what we do at the end of the year, we have them always come back and bring an update on how they spent the money. So these are three options, but not, the 200,000 has not been committed, like either all to one or split up between the three. They're gonna be making that decision. Correct?
Correct.
Thank you. Any other questions? This, okay. So, right, first is a public hearing and it is 4:23. So receive and hear all persons desiring to be heard on the Sugarland 4B Corporation Resolution Number SL4B-R-22-04. Resolution of the Board of Directors of the Sugarland Corporation approving a request by the city of Sugarland for landscape replacement and enhancement projects along US Highway 59, I-69, US Highway 90A, State Highway 6, Eldridge, and other major corridors in the city of Sugarland. Is there anyone here for public hearing?
No one has signed up.
Okay, we will close the public hearing at 4:24 p.m. Now, consideration of an action on Sugarland 4B Corporation Resolution Number SL4B-R-22-04. Resolution of the Board of Directors of the Sugarland 4B Corporation approving a request by the city of Sugarland for landscape replacement and enhancement projects along US Highway 59, I-69, US 90A, State Highway 6, Eldridge Road, and other major corridors in the city of Sugarland. Do I hear a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Second.
So Director McCutcheon approved, Director Atkinson second,
I approve.
Jennifer. Molly, or, and I approve. The motion carries unanimously. All right, the next item. Approving a request by the city of Sugarland to fund improvements at the Crown Festival Park and City Park. William. Hi.
Hi, Jim.
Thank you.
Got it. Okay. Good evening, Board of Directors. Before I get into the phase 2 request for the skate park, I wanted to do a little bit of a recap on where we're at with phase 1. Both of these improvements are at the Crown Festival site park, just adjacent to Brazos River Park. It's basically one big park, but it's separated by a levee. Doing a lot of fun things out there. I think that we're bringing a lot of synergy and energy out there. So the pump track, as you can see here, is about 22,500 square feet asphalt pump track that was approved by Sugarland 4B through funding, $500,000 for design and construction last fiscal year. Economic Development and Parks Department and Engineering here in the city of Sugarland is working very hard with the design build contractor American Ramp Company, Velo Solutions, who build pump tracks all over the United States. I've been to a couple in San Antonio with my daughter and we had a blast. Are working really hard. We did preliminary design. We did some public surveying with the mountain bikers at Brazos River Park to try to get their input on what they would like to see. Staff had a lot of involvement with it. And as you can see, this is preliminary design is what we ended up with. There is a beginner track on one side that's able for riders such as myself to kind of grow into the sport, if you will, and then advance into the more harder track. This is a tournament competitive style track, so it can host like Red Bull tournaments or city tournaments or any kind of tournaments that we want to have there. It is large enough for tournaments, competitive tournaments. So about two people ride at the time, and then you clock, and then you can get another 2 up, and then you can do a clock style. But you can have 2 people racing. But when you're not racing, you can have more than 2 people on this site. So as long as everybody's being careful and watching out for each other, me and my daughter rode with a couple of other guys that were kind of going crazy, and we just kind of kept to one end, and the other guys kind of kept to the other end, and it was really good. And so bikers were very respectful and love to play by the rules, and we like that. And we have a lot of mountain bikes at trails at Brazos River Park, just adjacent to the Crown Festival site, and we think this will really complement the site very well. So where are we at? So we finished preliminary design, of course, took the design build contract to City Council. It was approved unanimously. And then we started doing construction documentation with American Ramp Company. We're wrapping that up now. We're addressing some of U of H's concerns because it is on U of H leased property. Crown Festival Park is. We're just down to the wire on finishing up some of those last minute concerns, and American Ramp Company should start construction in December. And it's a 90-day contract. So we're very excited to get that going, fully funded by Sugarland 4B. So thank y'all.
Make sure you let William Ferguson know when that is.
Yes, ma'am. We're excited to get that started.
He's probably watching right
Hi, William.
So with that, what I'm here today is the resolution for funding on is the phase 2, which would bring a skate park relocation from City Park over to this site at the pump track at the Crown Festival Park. We believe it would be to add synergy to the park and add cohesiveness and bring all wheel sports, so to speak, over to the Crown Festival Park, which already has existing parking lot, an existing ADA access, and existing lighting in the parking lot, and a restroom at Brasford Park that's not too far away, and an existing drinking fountain that's just off this page here. So we believe there's a lot of existing assets already there that could keep costs down and bring some synergy over to this park. So this funding request, part of it is to bring the skate park equipment over from the City Park, skate park, and bring it over to a slab that we would need to pour on this site. And then add a shade structure, about a 20 by 20 shade structure, and of course, concrete pattern to meet that as well. To save costs, engineering and parks would be looking at doing that design in-house. And then bringing over the equipment from City Park over. So this is kind of a rendering of what it would look like in theory. American Ramp Company did this for us in the preliminary design. I thought it was a good rendering of what you can kind of see what it would look like. The asphalt pump track over to one side, a connecting sidewalk that gets you to both locations, a center area for people to take a break and get some shade, picnic table, grab a snack, and then go either do your option of skate park or asphalt pump track. Now, the existing skate park equipment is not that old. I think I did that about 3 years ago with American Ramp Company. And so it's equipment that's barely into its useful life. It's probably 25, 30-year useful life. So it's just 3 years into its useful life. Yes, it is heavily used. Yes, it's scratched up because the kids went crazy on it. And I mean, absolutely crazy during COVID on this stuff. But it's really cool pieces of ramps and equipment, and it has different things, as you can see, different styles. And then the coolest thing is the half pipe, which the kids really loved. So well used. That would come over to this site on the slab that we would need to engineer and get out to bid. And then that opens up the existing skate park at City Park for 3 covered pickleball courts and lighted. So the existing lights, we changed them out from metal halide to LED in-house a couple of years ago. It's awesome. My guys did a great job on that. And then plenty of parking. And then the dimension 72 by 100 fits about 3 pickleball courts, almost exactly. So that would need to be, the slab would need to be, I got a couple quotes. And the slab basically would need to be coated with the green surface with the sand in it for grip, and then striped for pickleball. And then the netting, and it's pretty much ready to play pickleball. And so the funding request tonight includes the pickleball basically conversion. So with that, I'd like to request us to hold a public hearing, which we're doing now, and approve resolution number SL4B 2205. Approving a request by the city of Sugar Land to fund improvements to the Crown Festival site and City Park for the skate park and the pickleball courts.
Okay, public hearing at 4:32, receive and hear all persons desiring to be heard on Sugarland 4B Corporation Resolution number SL4B-R-22-05. Resolution of the Board of Directors, the Sugarland Corporation approving a request for the city of Sugarland to fund improvements at Crown Festival Park and City Park. Anybody?
No one has signed up.
Okay, we close the public hearing at 4:32. Now, consideration of an action on Sugarland 4B Corporation Resolution number SL4B-R-2205. Resolution of the Board of Directors of the Sugarland 4B Corporation approving a request by the city of Sugarland to fund improvements at the Crown Festival Park and City Park. Do I have a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Jennifer approved, Director Kamali second. Director Kirkhoff.
Approve.
Aye.
Aye.
All
Director
And it would be a great addition to District 4, the best district in the city.
I also. Not sure about that part, but I approve the motion carries. All right, thank you very much. All right, the next item is the director's report. Elizabeth.
All right, we made it faster through the agenda than I thought we might. A quick update for you. I don't know, hopefully you've seen, we've gotten a lot of coverage lately. The Sugar Land Development Corporation passed a new incentive to retain our office headquarter tenants that are leasing space in the city of Sugar Land. We've had an incredible, not only PR and media response to it, but we've also had active projects that have come out of it. So we're really excited about it. Definitely hit it out the ballpark where like home run on the media side. DCI played a very integral role in that. And so again, really proud and excited. Gotten a lot of calls and can't wait to bring more of that to y'all. But then also wanted to kind of keep you updated on the marketing side that we did a purchase with BizNow to run a morning brief that's sponsored, that's gonna just for their newsletter. So that again, kind of bringing a lot more awareness, telling our Sugar Land story, getting people to click on it and hopefully contact us or get more information. We're also sponsoring BizNow Houston Life Science Update, which is going to be on January 12th. Life sciences was a targeted industry sector that was added when we did our new workforce and target industry analysis. And we are going really big into all of the things life sciences. We have an organic ecosystem that's already here that I don't think a lot of people are aware of. And then we're trying to continue to build off of that. So we are trying to get our name out there, get our logo out there, and really make it known that Sugar Land wants to participate and is the right place for people in the life science sector to kind of make their next step. And then we're also going to have an ad buy for the HBJ that's going to run quarterly to educate our readers about our retention incentive program and also showcase some of our Sugar Land success stories. And I don't know if you know this, but if you check out our website, we have a section where we have our success stories on there. And so we're always trying to put out new content and showcase all of our businesses and all the great things that they're doing. So again, I will encourage you, if you don't already, to follow us, the Sugar Land Development Corporation on LinkedIn, and share our posts and comment on them and help us spread the great work and great messaging that we've got going on. But yeah, we're excited to kind of close out the year and then start fresh in January. So with that, I will see you later.
Thank you, Elizabeth. Do I have a motion? Adjourn. McCutcheon motion to adjourn. Thank you, everyone.
Oh, thank you.
Yes.
You notice how fast I seconded that motion for